Everybody, this is Mr. Bennett here, Transmath 9. This is mortgages and down payments. I think this is lesson 2, I believe, of this unit. Okay, so let's talk about mortgages and down payments. Those might be words that you might have heard, but maybe never really understood. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this. This will be something that you look at in future math classes, but you should sort of know the basics for grade 9. So a mortgage is a loan that the bank gives you to buy a house. That's sort of the simplest description. Okay, so they're loaning you money, lending you money, and you use it to buy a house. So with such a large loan, the bank wants what we call collateral. Collateral, there's the word. And this is something that the bank can take if you default on the loan. So to default on the loan means to not pay them back. So for example, you get a mortgage loan, you make some payments, and then after a while, for whatever reason, you stop making payments. So what that means is that the bank can, what's called foreclose, the bank can take over your home because you don't technically own it. The bank owns it until you've paid off the loan. So the collateral in this case is the house itself. So that can happen. This does happen if people, especially if people buy homes that they're more than they can afford. Maybe they lose a job or they overextend themselves. They start buying other things and they can't start making house payments. That sometimes happens. So this means that if you don't pay the loan, the bank owns the home and can evict you and sell the house to get their money back. Okay, so you do need to make sure that you can afford to pay for your home, just like affording to pay for rent. Another way to reduce the risk of the bank is to insist on what's called a down payment. So this is the amount that you pay up front before you get the loan. So it's kind of like the first payment, generally a large lump sum. And in Canada, the minimum down payment is 5%. That's the lowest down payment that you can make to get a loan, a mortgage. Sometimes people get more than 5%, but any down payment that is under 20% costs you more because you have to buy what is called mortgage insurance. The bank wants to be sure that they get their money back. So if you have a smaller down payment, something less than 20%, you have to buy extra insurance, which costs you more money to make sure that you the bank is covered if you do default on the loan. So buying a home is a big decision. It's a big cost. You have to sort of run the money, run the numbers, and make sure you know what you're doing before you do that. Now, fortunately, when you go to the bank loans officer will handle all this for you, and you just have to agree or disagree and make sure you tell them the truth. Okay, so let's just quickly review here, converting to decimals. I'm pretty sure you guys know how to do this. So like, for example, 5%, that's going to be 0.05, 7%, 0.07, 10% is 0.1, 15%, 25%, so on. Make sure that when you've got a single digit percent, it's 0.05 or 0.07. Okay, make sure you get that right. Okay, so what we are going to do here is determine the amount of the down payment for a $120,000 house at the following down payment rate. So the absolute smallest amount is 5%. So this is going to be 0.05 times 120. 0.05 times 120,000. So the minimum payment for a $120,000 house is $6,000. You have to have that saved up before you can even get the loan. Okay, so it might take some people, some families, maybe 2 or 3 years, maybe longer, to save up $6,000 just so that they have the opportunity to get the loan, especially if you're already paying rent. If it's at 7%, same procedure. Okay, 0.07 times 120,000. You need even more. Okay, these are all what's called down payments. Okay, and we're just going to keep going here. 10%, 0.1. I should be able to do this one in my head. That's going to be 12,000, 15%. 18,000, 20%. That's going to be twice 10%. That's going to be 24,000, 25%. 30,000. Okay, so those are all various down payment amounts. Now, as you get older and maybe you own more things and you have more savings, you can make a larger down payment. Actually, making a larger down payment is good it means that it costs you less to get the mortgage. Okay, so once you've paid the down payment, you borrow the rest of the purchase, and that borrowed amount is known as the mortgage. So if we're still working with the $120,000 house at 5% down payment, you simply subtract, right? The home is worth $120,000. You're paying down $6,000. How much is the loan for? $120,000 minus $6,000 is of course going to be $114,000, right? That's how much the loan is for. Borrow $114,000. That's a lot of money. Okay, if it's $8,400 is the down payment, these are all going to be subtract. 120 minus 84, it's just subtract. Okay, all subtract. The house is 120,000. And so on, 108,000. Okay, just a subtraction question, that's all it is. Okay, I don't think I need to keep going there. You basically just take the $120,000 and you're subtracting the down payment. Okay, so here is a sample question. Kara and Tyrell are looking at a $145,000 home. The bank insists on a minimum 5% down payment. How much do they need? So here's a home, 145,000. And if you want, you can go look up online. If you go to like real estate sites in Dauphin, you can find out what homes are going for in Dauphin. I think you'll be surprised. 145,000 times 5%, 0.05. So it's 145,000 times 0.05 is 7,250. That is the down payment. Here's Lacey and Zach. They found a $160,000 house to buy. They have 9,000 saved. Do they have enough for a 5% down payment? Okay, they've already started saving. So we're going to take that 160,000. They have 9,000, but we want to find out what the actual down payment is. So we're going to multiply by 0.05. And it's $8,000. So they have more than enough, which is good because when you buy a home, there's lots of other fees as well, like lawyer costs and stuff. So it's a good idea to have more money saved than what you actually need for your down payment. So the answer here is yes. Okay, that's it for the lesson. All you really need to be able to do is do that multiplying and subtraction. I guess I should have probably asked a question here. So how much is the mortgage amount? I didn't ask it in the question, but let's just do it. So we would take this 160,000 and we would subtract that down payment of 8,000. They still owe $152,000 on their mortgage, okay? That is going to take them a long time to pay off. Okay, so I do know that there is an online assignment that you can complete. Good luck with that. And then I think there's one more video left in this unit.